We are live, guys. Welcome to Playoff Puck Time here on WagerTalk TV. Andrew McInnes on vacation still. He'll be back on the 11th or 12th of the month. We'll see whether the Montreal Canadiens are still in the playoffs when he returns. But with that said, it is me today. Brian Leonard hops into the hosting chair as well, too. Don Buster's here to break down the Buffalo-Montreal game, and we got a great promo deal for him as well, too, where you can get the rest of his NHL for free. But first, let's bring in Brian Leonard. Let's see if we can do this right. There you go. Look at this. My producing has gotten so much better, Brian. Right, a 1-1 day for me yesterday. It started well, and then an empty netter with 4 seconds left in the game killed my under 6.5. Listen, it's going to happen. I celebrate the empty net goals when they go in my favor, and I hate them when they go against me. But such is life. Nikishkin that one in, floated in from 200 feet away. Ryan, those are the ebbs and flows of sports betting, aren't they?
Yep. Once you get to the point where they pull the goalie, it's all a crapshoot at that point. So you just want to be in the position where your team is ahead at that point. So, and mine wasn't. I had Minnesota plus 1.5 yesterday. So when it was 2-1, I thought I had a chance, and then all of a sudden they get the third, and I go, nah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, listen, it was that first period. The goaltending in that game, they scored. Both teams scored a total of 3 goals on the first 4 combined shots of the game. When that happens, and you're an under better, you're not feeling great. When you're an over better, you're loving it. But they seem to settle in. Minnesota did seem to settle in after that. I think they were kind of rocked after that first period, but settled in, played a much better second period, and even a third. They were still in it, but Wedgwood looked pretty good in that game as well, Bri.
Right. Yeah. I expected a big effort out of Minnesota. The 2 teams I had picked to win it all or to get to the finals would be Colorado and Tampa Bay. And so that's not looking good right now, at least the Tampa Bay part. That kind of surprised me how they were able to get beat. I'm happy I had Montreal in a lot of those games, but still worked out well. But Tampa Bay, anything can happen. I mean, once you get to the playoffs, that's why I like hockey. Your best team doesn't win all the time. It's not like the NBA where, coming into the season, you've got 4 or 5 teams. In hockey, half the league, at least half the league, is live to win it all.
Yeah. You know what's not live, Brian? Let me tell you what's not live. That bet I had you put in for me on the Edmonton Oilers to win the Stanley Cup. I don't even think they're offering you a cash out at the moment, right? So that thing is...
I thought you were going to say something about Don Buster. I thought this was a burn on Don Buster.
No,
he's alive right now.
God, no. No, God bless Don Buster. But guys, while you're here, and just before we get to bring in Don and get to the first game, we're so close to 250,000 subscribers on this channel. Do us a favor. If you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button. I'd love to get to before next Monday rolls around, 250K. It's a milestone for the channel. And if you hit the notification button, you're alerted to any free play videos as well, too, or shows going live. So speaking of live, let's bring him in. There he is. Don Buster, how you feeling today?
Hello, boys. How are you?
Good.
I'm feeling good. Game 1, feeling good. So, yeah.
Are you wearing a Habs jersey?
You having me on, Carmine, and I am. I'm wearing the vintage Habs jersey.
Oh, the vintage Habs.
You can see the corners here. Yeah, it's I think I got it in like 2000 and something or whatever. But Carmine, my plan is, because I believe this series might go 6 or 7. I know I will talk a little bit what the Preds had to say yesterday, but my hope is me and Mr. Andrew McInnes, I haven't confirmed it yet. We will have. I'm working on getting tickets for Game 6 in Montreal. I plan on that to happen. I was hoping to announce here that I had them and Andrew could watch the show and go, yay, but not yet, but they're coming.
All right. Well, I love the hope that you guys have that you're going to make it at least 6 games. So that's great in this series. But Buster, Seriously, with that said, let's pop that game up there and have a look at these odds. Sabres minus 132. This line really hasn't moved since the opener. A little bit of Montreal money came in on this one, but this line is held firm since about 3 or 4 o'clock yesterday. It was at in the minus 130 to 132 range, and it's still there as of this morning. Montreal plus 109 in this one. Totals 5.5. Obviously shaded to the over in this one. Game one. Break it down for us, buddy.
Yeah, Carmine, you know what? As far as breaking the whole game down, there's no doubt Buffalo, like they've kept it at the same price. So to me, I mean, this is a tough game one. I actually expect Buffalo first at home, another round of the playoffs. I expect Buffalo to win. Now, if you listen to you guys yesterday, with the Prez, I was a little kind of surprised. I'm just, believe me, I do not want to debate the Prez, but I am going to say something about his little analysis yesterday because I also know he was a very good debater in university, probably one of the top 10 in Canada. So I learned a long time ago being on PuckTime, you just listen to the Prez, whether you agree or not, you don't say nothing. But since this kind of got my, I thought, maybe not Lawrence. He went on yesterday. Now, I know he hates Montreal just as much as I hate Toronto. But he said Buffalo has the better first line, the better second line, the better third line, the better fourth line. Thank God he didn't say they had the better goaltending. But then he says, but I think it's going to go 7 games. Well, if they have that much better, shouldn't it go 5, 6? So believe me, Lawrence has been unbelievable these last 2. He's probably one of the best handicappers at the site these last 2 years. But a lot of people take his word. And if I was just watching this thinking, Buffalo's got this locked up. If their lines are the best, they got it locked up. I don't believe that is true. I'm a Montreal fan, but I got a funny feeling there's a lot of other people, and maybe even yourself, Carmine, that do not believe that. I believe this game goes 6 or 7. I will not be betting, unfortunately, any of these Montreal games because I just don't do that. I might bet the odd total. I'm really hoping Montreal can get to the next round. I think it's going to be a great series. Good luck to you, brother. I know you've been waiting for this for years. If anything I was going to bet tonight, I do like it over 5.5, believe it or not.
All right. So your analysis would be, I don't agree with Prez, and I like the over 5.5. I'm fine with that.
There you go in a nutshell, Carmine. Yeah.
When you we have a viewer that will drop comments in the comment section, and he's a he's a English teacher, and he'll say to you, when you say you don't say nothing, it actually means that you're saying something. It's that's a double negative. So so you had your piece. You said what you needed to say, Buster. It's all good. You know what I want to talk about, Buster? The NHL, we're into the playoffs, but man, right around the corner, the CFL. For people, you need to understand whether you like college football, whether you like NFL, CFL is just as much fun, and you get to bet it early because it is in the summer. And the money spends differently. Buster, tell us about the CFL promo that you have up.
Yeah, the powers that be, Melissa, you got this promo going. Very similar to what Andrew had up. Andrew had a great year last year in the CFL. I had my worst year in the CFL last year. I'm looking forward to this year I'll be having a winning year this year. Overall, lifetime at WagerTalk, 154.64 units plus in lifetime at the CFL. I'm also number 1 in 5% in CFL lifetime. And again, we just had an off year last year. We got out of the gate bad, took one really bad beat, and it snowballed on us. So again, we're very looking forward to that. Of course, grab our NHL. You get all the 5% plays. things like that, where I am number one this year, number one overall in NHL 5%ers, number one this year in 5%ers in the NHL, and looking for a bigger playoffs. There won't get many plays for me in the Montreal series, but I do have some nice plays even tonight and the rest of the way going. So, if you could grab that, that'd be great.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't watched PuckTime before and you haven't watched like some of the content with CFL, Andrew and Buster, great at this sport, great at making money. And Buster, you know what I say is, it is extremely tough for someone who studies a sport to have back-to-back, let's say, bad seasons. Yeah. I have a feeling you're going to have a great season. Just keep taking the Argonauts, because that's I'm a Argos Blue fan through and through. But sure. we shall see. You can never have enough sports to bet on, so take advantage of that deal. And even if you want to try one of the other deals, you can get 3-day all access of Buster's plays for only $49. That's $20 off, no coupon needed. And there's also that deal, a 30-day all access, and that's applicable obviously to Brian and myself as well too. You get $100 off a 30-day all access, and then you get a 3 and 7-day. A couple 3 and 7-day passes. Yes. So you get a 3-day pass, a 7-day pass. That gives you an extra 10 days. You're getting 40 days for the price of 30. That's already been reduced by $100. So it's a great deal. Buster,
can I just ask one thing, Carmine, if you don't mind, before you let me go? I'm just very curious, because Brian is one of the best handicappers in hockey on our site. I'm very curious. I haven't heard what he thinks of this Buffalo-Montreal series. So I would like to hear that, if that's all right, Brian. If that's all right, Carmi, keep me on for another couple minutes. I don't want to overstay my welcome.
No, I appreciate that. And by the way,
this happened, but it's okay.
Yeah, he's very good in the CFL. If you're interested in that, money's money, regardless of what it is. I'll be doing the WNBA this year. I think there's edges there.
Oh, wow.
So, but in this series, who's the better team? What do you?
Truthfully, I think it's a crapshoot. I truly believe that. But if Dobish does what Dobish did against Tampa Bay, Montreal wins this series. Plain and simple. They win this series. And I think as long as Buffalo's power play, because they've struggled, as long as they kind of stay a little bit dormant, Montreal's power play, I think you'll see score a lot of goals.
All right. Well, what do you think, Carmine? Who's throw away your prejudice about your favorite team there. Yeah. Who do you think's the better team?
No, if you look at the first round of the playoffs, I think if there was a team, a higher seed that was going to get knocked out, it was the Tampa Bay Lightning against the Montreal Canadiens. I just thought going into that series, Montreal's a little disrespected with that price. I mentioned it before game one. They should never be north of plus 200 to win the series between these two teams. I just didn't like the way Tampa performed down the stretch, and then obviously that carried over into the playoffs. Dubish is doing a fantastic job. He kept them in the series. Any game that you win when you only have 9 shots on goal
exactly
is a complete outlier. But this is a completely different series now with a completely different team. So the Sabres now have, it's not like they're not familiar with Montreal. They play 4 games this season. They split them 2 games apiece, including playing a couple of back-to-back games where the Sabres, I think, won both of them on a home and home. But with that said, the Sabres are going to come into this knowing who the Montreal Canadiens are, knowing it's a hot goalie, knowing they got to get to him. And Swayman was hot for the Boston Bruins until he was not. And that was because the Bruins tried to play a defensive game against the Buffalo Sabres, and it did not work. Once they got into the hole, they couldn't get out. If Montreal, I think, tries to play the exact same way that they played against Tampa Bay against the Buffalo Sabres, I don't think it's going to work. I think the Sabres will get pucks at the net. I think the Sabres will have a lot of more ozone. But that's where it comes back to coaching. And I 100% give Marty St. Louis the nod on being able to make adjustments ahead of game 1 of this series. He made the adjustments against John Cooper in Tampa, and and we all love Cooper. Most of us do love Cooper. He made the adjustments to win that series, and it was the student teaching the master. Having played for John Cooper, so I give him credit there. Can they do it a second straight series where they don't have home ice? It remains to be seen. We'll see. I don't think you can make a judgment call until Game 3 of this series. Heading into Game 3 of this series, if the Sabres are up 2-0, Montreal's going to have to win obviously 4 or 5. It doesn't take a mathematician to figure that one out. But if they're tied at 1, it's similar to the Bruins series. Every game comes with its level of importance. So you look at the XG numbers, and the Sabres created in 6 games against the Boston Bruins. The Sabres created just north of 24 XG across 6 games, and their lowest XG in any game at all strengths, obviously including 5-on-5, 5-on-4, and any empty net situations, 24.4, and their lowest was 3.8 in any given game. The Montreal Canadiens never had any game where they generated an XG higher than 345. And that was across 7 games where they created only 18.88 of XG across 7 games. But it was a game plan in place that let's slow down the neutral zone. Let's not give Tampa anything, and let's skate at them because we're a faster team than they are. And they're going to come into the Sabre series thinking the exact same thing. Those are my thoughts, Bri.
Yeah, I kind of lean with your direction a little bit more. With the current line of 130 or whatever, what's there right now, if you were to put out lines before the first round, I would have to think that Buffalo is probably at least a 140 favorite here. So they're paying a lot of attention to what Montreal did against Tampa Bay. And hey, I picked Tampa Bay to win it all. So that was a definite surprise to me. But Montreal plays Tampa Bay very well. Go back and look at them on the season. They matched up really well with Tampa Bay. I don't think they match up quite as well with this Buffalo team. And you have a Tampa Bay team that pulled off the upset in a Game 7, or that Montreal team. Now they got to come back. Usually you find your teams that pull an upset and they play the full 7 games. It's somebody I want to fade in the opening series or opening game of the series. I kind of like Buffalo here. I think the 130 is pretty cheap. I kind of in agreement with Buster on the total. I think it'll be a higher scoring game. But I have these two teams pretty close, but the actual situation going into this, I think, favors Buffalo. I think Buffalo maybe team total over is a way to take a look at this. I know Andrew's not here, but that's something that he plays a lot of. But I think Buffalo's the better team in this series, and they match up a little bit better than what Montreal did. Would it surprise me if Montreal wins? No. Hats off to them. They've really had a nice season. They've been good all year, other than one little streak of games earlier in the season after they got real hot to start. They did have a little bit of a letdown. But other than that, they've been very consistent on the season. So we got 2 really good teams that deserve to be here. But I think the line's probably about 10 cents short on what it would be if this game was played 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
and Bri and Buster, just some parting shots before Buster goes. Thoughts on the series, and is like, if this was one of those situations where the Montreal Canadiens, we'll call it an upset. If you're looking at odds, I don't call it an upset. It's a series I thought they could win, but but pull off the upset. Let's call it, and beat Tampa Bay in Game 7, and they're playing a different team other than the Sabres, full of it, and they're full of life. This team has momentum on their side, but they're playing against the Sabres team that 3 months ago everyone thought they were dead in the water, or 4 months ago dead in the water, last place in the Eastern Conference. The Sabres have been playing the best hockey. They're playing with house money as well. They're, they won the division, yes, in the last week of the season. But they come into this, they beat the Boston Bruins, and after they lost game 2 to the Bruins, everyone thought, that's it, the Sabres are in trouble. But they weren't. It's a different thing. You got a Sabres team coming in, and they're enjoying playoffs for the very first time and full of life. So you have 2 teams. So that advantage for Montreal of coming in with momentum does not exist to me. These are just 2 teams that are very good. that are going to skate. And if they get the same type of good goaltending that they did in the first round of the playoffs, it is going to be a long, long series. Buster, listen, we got to go. I appreciate you hanging on. Hopefully you heard what you needed to hear on the show. We wish you the best of luck with your plays tonight. And guys, head over to WagerTalk.com, Buster's page, and take advantage of that CFL deal and get the rest of the NHL for free. So that is a great deal. Buster, best of luck, man.
Carmine, one last comment, please. I'm just going to say,
keep it under 30 seconds.
Fate, karma. Yeah, believe in fate, karma. Game 7, Montreal won with 9 shots. They won that game somehow. I have visions of 1986 Patrick Roy. Go Habs.
All right. Later. Thanks, Ben.
Take care.
There we go.
He's having visions.
Yes.
Yeah, that could be from a drug. It could be from a mushroom. It could be many things. But real good guy, and I'm glad that he's doing well. And yeah, if you do like the CFL, I know he's been good for many years. Yeah.
No, and the other part of it from a CFL is from a knowledge perspective. They're both very good at it. They watch it, they study it, and then they can also bounce some ideas, not plays, but ideas off of Rob, who is connected with pretty much every single CFL team. Still with that family having owned a lot of them, and he knows a lot of the personnel, so he can get ahead of line moves as well too. So and I've gotten those messages from Rob. Hey, take this line before it moves, and then
there you
go. Within 24 hours, it's moved 2 or 3 points. You have CLV. Doesn't mean you're going to win, but you have CLV. So
it's nice to have people that have contacts. Anytime somebody says something about Kelly, I always say, hey, Kelly has got contacts. I would sit and do videos with her from the studio a few years ago, and she had celebrities, she had athletes all through her Rolodex on the phone or whatever. But she goes, I don't know. I wondered that. She goes, you want me to give him a call? And I go, not in the middle of the show, but after the show, give him a call and see if he's thinking the same thing we are. I'm not around a lot of athletes out here in Vegas. So I don't leave the house very often, but when I do, I ask him these questions. I know Marco does shows out here in Vegas all the time, asking professional athletes, throw out what you think is going to happen. And they go, yeah, that's right. Or no, I don't think it's nice to have those kind of things going on.
Speaking of Vegas, Brian, how can we not talk about your Vegas Golden Knights? We refer to everyone on this show as your this, your that. If the Prez was on, I would have said your team rigged the draw yesterday, and the Leafs got the number 1 pick in the draft. I think it's just funny that ESPN went to a commercial as they were still loading some of the balls into that drum. But with that said, congratulations to the Toronto Maple Leafs on winning the draft lottery. Gavin McKenna, I apologize for your career being ruined if you go as the number 1 pick in the draft. But Leaf fans, Bri, are just absolutely ecstatic. You know what I mean? They're just they can't believe it. They got the number 1 pick in the draft. Now they want to get rid of Austin Matthews because he's not happy and doesn't want to be here unless they spend money, he said apparently yesterday. We'll see what happens with them. Speaking of a former Leaf, Mitch Marner, he's having a pretty good playoffs. They win the first round. He's got, I think, a goal and 2 assists thus far in this series. A goal and an assist in the last game for Mitch. 164 plus 134 on the Ducks. The total sits here at 6.5. Where are you going with this one, Bri?
Yeah, a lot of things going on with Toronto. I do have a story. I won't tell it now because I know we're short on time, but I do have a story when it comes to draft lotteries. I heard this from the horse's mouth. This was like 30 years ago, whatever, 25 years ago. Maybe even longer than that. But yeah, sometimes they are rigged. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not a big believer in rigged ball games or whatever, but if it's something could help out the league, that's one thing I think could be for real. All right, let's get back to today's game. The Anaheim's coming to Vegas. Gave them a pretty good game last time out. Vegas scores with less than 10 seconds to go, I believe, to make it 3-1. But Anaheim's a team that throws a lot of shots on goal, and they did that against Vegas. And for what it's worth, Carter Hart was great in net. Carter Hart's been very good in net overall, very inconsistent. For a while there, he was winning and his goals were down, but he had a low low save percentage. It wasn't that impressive. Lately, he's been very good. My concern here, from his standpoint, is this would be the 8th straight game. If he is in goal, this will be his 8th straight game. This is a guy who had injuries. He was out of the league, and they brought him back in. Then he has more injuries. When was the last time he was in goal for 8 straight games? And these are important games. These are playoff games. Vegas needed to win going the last couple of weeks of the season too. So he may be a little tired right now. I know the new coach loves him and he wants him out there all the time. I think he's hitting above his head at this point. I think Anaheim's going to get some goals against him here. I kind of, you can get 7 goals at plus money here. If you take a look in the regular season, Anaheim won all 3 meetings, 4-3, 4-3, 4-3. I could see another 7-goal situation. I kind of like the over. I kind of like Anaheim team total over. And I want no part of the Golden Knights laying this number. They're already up 1-0 in the playoffs. The game is much more important to Anaheim than it is to Vegas. And Vegas isn't going to put as many shots on goal as Anaheim is. So, or do you really want to take a team? Sure, Montreal won with nine shots on goal. How often does that happen? Not very often. But if you take a look at Vegas, they've had a lot of games lately which the opposition has outshot them. Vegas has been a little bit lucky. And from a home standpoint, they have not been that great at home. Anaheim's been a pretty good team on the road this year. I got to find a way to play Anaheim in this one, either the team total, the side, maybe the first period, something to that effect. Anaheim's been a good first period team. Vegas has been terrible in the first period, much better in the third. Maybe Anaheim first period, but there's different ways to play this for the dog. And I'm just giving you a few ideas out there.
Yeah, Brian, I'm the same way with you as far as like the price goes on this one. Game 1, I had I talked about, I correlated the under with Vegas winning, the over with the Ducks winning. I think that could be a square take, but most people will look at it that way. I did end up taking the Knights in regulation, and they got it done 3-1, a little closer than it needed to be, but the empty netter made me feel a lot better. This is one where, if the Ducks came in saying we need to win 1 of 2 games at T-Mobile Arena, and sometimes game 1 of a series, when you maybe there is a bit of a letdown, they knocked off the Edmonton Oilers when everyone said the Oilers were likely going to win in 5 games. They knocked off the Oilers. They come in and they still played extremely well in this game to take it down to late in the third period, down a goal. So I think they're live tonight. It's finding how to play it without laying vig. Like the puck line is an interesting one, because this is one where I would not take the Vegas Golden Knights in regulation, because I think that it could be a game that goes to overtime. You look at the Carolina game, and I came out on the wrong end of that one. Carolina dominates game 1. Philly was in a complete letdown spot in that game. And in the game 2, Philly plays that much better, gets it to OT, but loses in OT, if I remember correctly. So this feels like the same scenario. Sometimes, like the names are interchangeable, that the scenario is the same. The Ducks come in probably unprepared, off a bounce, still played well, and all they got to do is win 1 or 2 games at T-Mobile and take home ice back to the Honda Center. So I think they're live tonight. And with that said, if they're live, there's going to be goals in this game. So I would lean to the over, even though clearly the money is on the under at the moment. I'll play contrarian in this one.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all. Like I said, they swept the season series 4-3, and I've watched Anaheim against Vegas the last few seasons. Anaheim's a team that has a lot of speed. Vegas has struggled against those teams. Now, Utah has a lot of speed also. Vegas won that in 6 games, but Vegas, were they really the better team in that? That series could have gone either way. Now that Anaheim is confident they can beat Vegas, and you're right, knocking off the team that's been very extremely good the last couple of years, a team that they've gotten their butts kicked against many times in Edmonton. It could have been a little bit of a letdown here, but now they're settled in, playing against a Vegas team that I think is a little bit overrated right now. I thought it ever since the coaching changed, they hadn't played anybody, and they caught, to be totally honest with you, they caught a break that Colorado has had to play two teams that are that are much better than anybody that Vegas has had to play. So I think Vegas is ripe for the picking here.
All right, ripe for the picking. We'll see what the Golden Knights do tonight. Our good friend Tom Viola loves going to the Vegas Golden Knights games. I see it on his Instagram as well too. So we'll see if he's at that game tonight. I would love to be in Vegas right now, but I'm not coming until June. And unless the Knights are a deep run in the playoffs, I'll likely miss out on. I think the last couple of years I've been there for the Cup Finals. So won't this year. I threw in a damn beach vacation in Andrews Away. Right. Give me 1 second. I am going to talk to the people about a pod play on today's game, and then you and I will finish up. All right. The pod returns, and it returns off of a win, of course. Last time out with Vegas and Utah over 5.5 goals. I'm looking at Vegas again. Vegas and Anaheim, first period over 1.5 minus 132. Current bankroll sits at just under 8K. So this will put us over 8K if this wins. And hopefully before we hit the conference finals, we'll be at 9K. The ultimate goal was 10K, but we're up 3. So we're up 60% bankroll gain on the season. The Ducks and the Vegas Golden Knights over 1.5 minus 132 is your pod play. Brian, I'm going to bring you back in.
Mind that pod play started with $5,000.
Yes,
so that is pretty healthy considering you're doing it every day of the season. Congrats to that.
Yep.
I do the baseball play. We do parlays. It's tough to come out every single day on a TV show or a video that's this early in the morning and don't have, halftime. We don't know who's going to be in goal. I'm extremely proud of you. That's an accomplishment, I'll tell you.
I appreciate it. It's been 4% plays the whole way, and just letting people know that you can take a couple days off when you lose. I get it. You always want to be in action, but this is how the books make money. They rely on people to always have action on a game, and I think that without proper bankroll management, you're never going to win. I'll equate it to go to the racetrack and watch at the racetrack. Be an observer, and if you can go to the track and only bet one track, maybe two that you bought the race form for, and you've studied well in advance, you could make some money. Most people that go there, the tracks will show you feeds from 12 or 13 different racetracks across the USA and Canada. Why? Because there's one going off every 3 to 4 minutes. No solid person can pick a winner in 3 or 4 minutes in a multi-horse race going track to track to track to track. They just do it because they want action, and it will kill your bankroll. With that said, Bri, I got to mention the Prez has a 5% play up over at WagerTalk in the NHL. He very rarely has these ones up, but he's on a very good run. So we got to give him some love as well too. Let us know what you have going on over at WagerTalk and what the weekend ahead or the week ahead is forecast for you. I know you like to go day by day and not look at like the weekend and say, "Oh, this looks like a good spot." But
yeah, you got to know what the numbers are before you can put them out. And by the way, I appreciate Prez filling in for me yesterday. I had something going on at the house here, but I watched the show. I thought it was a very good show. Hats off to Prez. I thought he broke down the games very well. When he does break down the games, it's great. When he's talking about his daughter's chess set on the beach, not so much. But
not so much.
Yeah, when he talks sports, I like listening to him, but you got to keep it focused. Yeah, I've got a 3% play up in hockey today. We did lose yesterday. Like I said, I had Minnesota plus the 1.5. Did not look good, but we've done very well in the playoffs. 8-5 overall in the playoffs for hockey. I believe we're 13-6 now in playoffs for hockey and NBA. I've got one NBA play up, one baseball play up, and one hockey play up on today's card. And I put up the baseball play over at Sports Memo. That's a $7 site. I don't put up a lot of things over there, but I put it up there today, so you can get my top baseball play for only $7. I'm not selling it over at WagerTalk, but if you sign up for one of our packages, you will get. If you signed up for the all-inclusive, you will get all three of those plays on today's card.
All right. Awesome, Brian. Wish you the best of luck as well, too. Always good to have you on the show and breaking down these games while Andrew enjoys the fine dining. And he posted some videos. The weather looks fantastic in Portugal. Much deserved break for him. And appreciate you coming on the show and filling in. Guys, for myself, one play up this afternoon in Champions League soccer. We cashed yesterday's $5 play in Champions League soccer, and one best bet selection up in the NHL for tonight as well, too. WagerTalk has a deal going on. I believe it should be on the site. The World Cup package, $149. World Cup package, every single play, prop, futures, total. I've already released a couple futures bets, and we'll be loading a few more. The game plays I won't load until the week of the World Cup, but you can get some advanced plays if you pick up that package over at WagerTalk. That's it for us, guys. Hit that like button. Do us a favor if you haven't already done so. Click on the subscribe button. Let's get to 250,000 subscribers. For myself, Don Buster, and Brian Leonard, guys, this is Puck Time. We will see you on Thursday.